40 Doom Eternal Demons ranked Ultra Nightmare Run Killers from most dangerous to least. Our categories today are King Novik Party, Nightmare Fuel, Ultra Kill Them All, Hurt Me Somewhat, and Journal of Games. Let's go. The Arachnotron is pretty easy. He can provide a little bit of a little challenge with his support fire. Let's go ahead and put him in Hurt Me Somewhat, since he's not too dangerous, but he is someone you want to watch out for. Oh gosh, the Archvile. Now, depending on if you're playing Tag 1, if you have your extra resources like your Crucible, he can be dealt with. BFG is always an option. I'm going to say he is right up there. We're going to put him as King Novik Party because he really scares a lot of people whenever he summons stuff in. And if you don't deal with him quickly, it is very bad news with buffed enemies. The Baron is pretty dangerous too. I wouldn't say he's as dangerous as the Archvile, but he can screw your day up and he will screw it up bad. So we'll do Nightmare Fuel. He's got 7,000 health. That's got to count for something, right? It's one of the highest HP demons out there. All right, Cacodemons, they're okay. They're not too bad. I mean, they really do hurt with their bite. In 2016, it did 200 damage. Their rapid fire shooting is pretty rough, but ultimately hurt me somewhat. They're not that bad, right? Okay, Carcasses. They're not too rough. The shield messes with you. They are not the damage source themselves, but they provide a lot of annoyance in your fighting. So we're going to have to go with Carcasses in Hurt Me Somewhat. Ooh, Cyber Mancubi. They are pretty dangerous with their goo, their area of denial. I've talked about this in videos before. Super tanky. If you don't know your falter system, they can be a big problem. They are really dangerous in groups. We'll make them Nightmare Fuel. Let's skip around a little bit. Let's go to randomly. How about the Shield Guy? The Shield Guy. Oh, all right. Why did I pick him? He's definitely Nightmare Fuel because he is easy to kill, but he's so dangerous if you get up close. The problem is he's so easy that if you let your guard down, he will screw your day up and he will not give a frick. All right. What's next? Let's do the Mecha. Mechas, nah, not too bad. They're pretty good as far as fodder goes, but ultimately, they're not run enders. They are the Journal of Games. Let's do the Riot Soldier. So they also are an annoyance, but they're not something that you find will outright kill you. Journal of Games. Let's see. Ooh, are they giving us a Shield Guy again? Well, you know what? We're going to put him back in Nightmare Fuel as well. Why not? It's a little bit different, but same concept. Let's do the Lost Soul. Not too bad. We don't have anything in Ultra Kill Them All yet, but they're dangerous. They will screw you up. We're going to put them in Journal of Games. They're not that scary. They die to an Ice Bomb. Whatever. All right. Let's look at these Spectres. Spectres are dangerous. They are pretty scary because they're hard to see, but they also do die pretty quickly, so it's not too bad there. But if you're not careful, if you're not paying mind, they're dangerous, so Ultra Kill Them All. We're going to put them there. Imps. If this were Doom 2016, it would be a King Novik Party, but as the game has progressed on, they get substantially weaker and crappier. Journal of Games, why not? The Mancubus. Early on, I would say he's up at the King Novik Party, but as the game progresses, it's easier and easier, but he's still a big threat, so he's not quite where the Baron is. He's an Ultra Kill Them All, I will have to say. Well, okay, what about the Doom Hunter? The Doom Hunter, you can deal with him with the Ice Bombs, the Falters. He's not too bad. He really isn't as scary as you think unless he's possessed, which that's a whole other topic. This is a hard one to place. He's either in one of these two categories, but I'm going to just put him as... Oh man, this is really difficult. Let's put him as Nightmare Fuel, even though he's actually not that bad. Actually, yeah, let's leave him there. The Knight is dangerous early game. You do have to be careful. I agree with that. He's really not too bad. We'll put him in Hurt Me Somewhat, right? The Pinky is kind of like the Spectre. Really dangerous if you're not careful, but the fact that you can see him is nice. He does have that frontal armor, which makes it tough, but the Shield Bash, we're just going to do Ultra Kill Them All just because if you're not careful, I guess. He could really go and Hurt Me Somewhat too if we really wanted to, and probably could. What about this guy, the Prowler? Ooh, those are scary. They're easy to kill, but the fact if you mess up, they will mess your day up. So we're going to give them Nightmare Fuel just because of their potential, what they can do, their destructive potential. Demonic Troopers are probably going to go in King Novik Party because they're extremely powerful. Wait a minute. They're not extremely powerful. Journal of Games. Drop them down. They're not going anywhere at the top. Who am I kidding? All right. Gargoyles. Normally, we would put fodder in Journal of Games in most cases, but these guys actually are a little deadly. They're not quite a King Novik party. I have seen them end runs. We're going to put them as an ultra kill them all because they are, you do have to watch out for sure. They are pretty scary. Maybe Nightmare Fuel even. Let's go with the Revenant. I mean, he does hurt. His rockets are dangerous if you let them, but ultimately, I'm just not that scared of him. He's a hurt me somewhat. Not even an ultra kill them all. He's a hurt me somewhat because while he can kill your run, like the Arachnotron, he's a mid-tier heavy, low-tier heavy even. Just not that bad. Giant Tentacles, yeah, they're annoying. They're a nuisance. The D-Blade video that I made really shows how to take them down. They're Journal of Games. They're not that bad, honestly. I just don't think they are. Oh, Maker Drones. They can be a pain. They are very good at giving your health and ammo back. So for that, given how helpful they are to you, and they're essentially fodder, more or less, even if they are heavy. They're Journal of Games. Let's do the Whiplash. Now, this one worries a lot of people. It doesn't have to worry a lot of people if they would just dash backwards on that shockwave. But nonetheless, they are deadly. They are scary. They should go up in Nightmare Fuel, probably, just because of their what they're good at. But I'm just going to put them in Ultra Kill Them All. Although, man, if there was a place between Nightmare Fuel and Ultra Kill Them All, that's where the Whiplash would go. Or I could switch it off between the two depending on my mood for the day. We'll leave it here for now. All right, the Dread Knight. Oh, before the damage bug was fixed, very deadly. And I have to say, I've seen too many people. I want to put him in Nightmare Fuel, but I want to. But knowing what I know about how he is, how players look at him, personally, he's a Nightmare Fuel to me. But given the greater sense of the community and what the players say, I'm going to put him in King Novik Party. I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I'm going to. Okay, the Cyber Demon, aka Tyrant, the different species of Valgar Demon than the 2016 Cyber. 10,000 health. That's a freaking lot of health when it comes to a demon. He is dangerous. You do have to watch out. He is not as bad as some of the other demons, but he is still absolutely a threat. So he is going to be Nightmare Fuel because you cannot... There's not a lot of them in the base campaign, but you do have to be careful. You can't just play around and be dumb around him. You really can't. All right, let's do a turret up next. Turrets, I mean, you only have that window of opportunity, but you can take them out with the Tier 2 D-Blade. And they're worst when they're paired up like that Marauder, the Fog section, where you have to, the Green Wolf Fog section and Blood Swamps. But most of all, I just put them in Journal of Games, honestly, man. All right, let's go with the regular zombie. Come on. The zombies that are actually the most dangerous are probably in the first room of Hell on Earth. It's Journal of Games. I can't help it. We got to put them there, right? Oh, the Pain Elemental. These guys, I always preach how dangerous they are. And they really are. Their lost souls can just go whoop all around your wooden kitchen chair right here and really mess you up like in the Mars Core Master Level Final Arena. Or in general, they're tanky, they're tough, the lost souls eat rockets. I'm putting him in King Novik Party, and I'm not even going to apologize for that. Okay, let's do the Blood Maker. These guys... They're easy to kill with their headshot when they open up. You would think that that's not too bad. They don't give you health, they give you ammo. But their cruciform attack slows you down. Their javelin's dangerous. They're just threatening to have on the battlefield. They are a super high priority. 100%, I am confident that they're a King Novik Party. Nothing less. Well, maybe, but we're going to put them there because they're dangerous. Okay, the Armored Baron. He is tough. He is a threat. I like how he has the different options that you're able to kill him with, like the microwave beam, flat-out plasma shooting, like I've seen in an Elysium Gaming video. The weak point shot is nice, but really you only see him one at a time. You don't see him double, you don't see him possessed or buffed. If that were the case, maybe we'd bump them up higher. The Nightmare Fuel, yeah, they get to go there for the day. All right, let's do the Cursed Prowler. Now, this guy is easy to kill. There's been nerfs to him over time with his damage, his noise that he makes, getting the blood punch when he's cursed. But the sheer fact that he is who he is and has the reputation that he does will scare players. He will be Nightmare Fuel? No, he will be a King Novik Party because he is dangerous. He is not that tough, but at the same time, scares players. Okay, let's do the Marauder. Man, if you would have shown a year ago Siler's clips and all these guys, Ian Danger representing the console and the Marauders, I would have to say he's a King Novik Party as far as day one. But how he's changed makes him a Nightmare Fuel But if it is your first Ultra Nightmare run, he is probably more dangerous than he is on your, like, you know, 5th, whatever. He's going to go King Novik Party just because of who he is, what he represents, and how some of them are pretty dang scary, especially for early UN runners. We'll put him there because he's the Marauder, man. Come on, you know. Anyway, Stone Imps. I didn't even see these guys down here. They're also another of the annoyance nuisance enemies. They're not too scary. They're not too bad. They are harder than a regular imp, but they're Journal of Games nonetheless. I mean, they have to be. Screechers? Ooh, these guys. Okay, so the Screecher himself is not deadly. He would be in the Journal of Games normally, but the fact that his buff is what it is makes him a little more of a threat, even though it's optional to trigger it. And for that reason alone, he's going to go and Ultra Kill them all. That does sound a little high, I know, but he can mess your day up, especially... I'm trying to think in the lens of a new UN player who's never cleared Ultra Nightmare. If they get in a crappy situation with one of these enemies, where does their headspace go? Where does their mental game go? Because that's going to kill them more often than the enemy itself. And judging how dangerous a Screecher can be to a player's mental game, that's where he goes. Ultra Kill them all. Okay, let's see what's next. How about the Spirit? The Spirit itself is not too bad. Was nerfed recently from 75 to 65 plasma, but the simple fact that those resistances, not HP increases, but weapon resistances, and the threat to the player's mental game, I have no qualms about putting him in a King Novik party at all. And I'm starting to run out of enemies here, so let's move my screen down a little this way, just so we can see better. All right. The Gladiator. Well, I will say this. Because players don't approach him in the most optimal way with the chain gun shield abuse, dazed and confused, stagger him, daze him with that rune to go get your chainsaw ammo, single dashing away, he would normally be nightmare fuel, absolutely, but given how fast things can go wrong and how screwed up he can make your confidence, King Novik Party. He is infamous for killing UN runs. He goes nowhere else but King Novik Party. Sends you right back to against all the evil. 100%. All right, the Con Maker. Oh, man, do we have to get to this one? Do we really have to be here right now? I have a personal vendetta against the Con, all right? On my first attempt of Ultra Nightmare back in April 2020 died in Cultist. My second died at the Con Maker. I was going so confident. I was pushing further than I should have. I should have stopped to practice, but the BFG ammo bug, if you're familiar with that, made me want to do it all in a segment, and I died at the Con on run 2. She is not a hard boss on paper, but given that she's a boss near the end of the game, is dangerous to players. So while she may not end the most UN runs, the simple fact we go back, who is she? What is she capable of? She goes into King Novik Party. All right, we have the Icon. Now, again, he's okay. He's bearable. There's a ton of BFG in the arena, a ton of Crucible. He's not too bad, but it's the last boss of the game. He's got 2 phases, 8 body parts and armor, 16 things to kill in total, threatening attacks, nerves. I mean, you know, it's got to be a King Novik Party because I've seen him in runs on the 8 of 8. My buddy Guac, 8 of 8 on the body, destroyed and lost his Ultra Nightmare run. Definitely that way. All right, the Dork Lord is our final choice here. And here's the thing about him. Where's Sammer? You know what? We don't have Sammer, so I'm going to pretend like Sammer's on this list. Sammer would go into King Novik Party because you just got to pretend he's there. You know what? This guy, he's going to be Sammer for the day. Why not? Sammer goes in King Novik Party because he has so many phases and can screw people up so badly. Even if you know what you're doing, he's still dangerous. And our shield guy, Sammer, is a King Novik Party through and through. I knew this list was missing something. The Dork Lord goes... Okay. The difference between Dark Lord and Sammer, you can restack so much on Dark Lord and stay alive and just prolong the fight. You can't do that on Sammer, even after the recent buffs. So, I stayed alive on my first fight on the Dark Lord, 45 minutes. Took for freaking ever. So, he is dangerous, but he's not a King Novik Party. He is not... I would just want to drop him in Journal of Games, but I can't. He's going to have to be a Nightmare Fuel because he is dangerous. Be sure to check out my Ultra Nightmare Run Killer level tier list here, and comment below, let me know if you think I'm crazy or wrong. I'm Allstin. Thank you so much for watching.